Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cara.fiano and I am a local real estate broker here in Asheville with Mackey Realty. Today's video is my July housing market update video. I have quite a few statistics I want to share with you guys today, so let's dive right in. As always, I'm going to be breaking up this video into a few different sections, those being price, inventory, mortgage news, local news, and other news. If you are new to my channel and want to know more about Asheville as well as the real estate market, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I also have some free things for you guys. For those of you that are new, you might not know that I have a free homebuyer guide that I am more than happy to share. And also, if you are currently a homeowner around the Asheville area, I'm more than happy to provide a free comparative market analysis for you on your property. All right, well, let's dive right in to home prices on a national level. The median sale price for new homes just hit a record high in June and is now $426,900. It's been a while since I've shared some home price predictions going through the end of this year and into next year as well. Luckily, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac recently updated their predictions, and they're now thinking that home price appreciation will drop to around 3% by the end of 2025. Now, notice that I said price appreciation. This doesn't mean that home prices are going to drop 3%. It actually means that home prices are going to likely continue to increase, just at a slower rate. As you can see on this chart, home price appreciation will continue. It'll just steadily decline in terms of the amount of price appreciation over each quarter through the end of next year. To put it another way, it's likely that price appreciation will remain positive and home prices will continue to increase. This 3% mark is roughly half of the current rate. Let's move on now to price on a local level. Typically in this section, I tend to focus on just the Asheville region or maybe Buncombe County where Asheville is located. But I thought it might be interesting this month to break it down into a few different counties. I chose 4 different ones that tend to be the most popular in this area. So I'm going to be discussing Buncombe County where Asheville is located, Haywood County, which is going to be the Waynesville area, Henderson County, which is where Hendersonville is located, and also Madison County, which is going to cover Marshall and Mars Hill. The Asheville or Western North Carolina region, for statistical purposes, is typically comprised of 13 counties. But like I said, I will be focusing on these 4 today. If there is another county that I did not mention that you're curious about, of course, feel free to reach out to me or leave me a comment down below, and I'm happy to share statistics for that area as well. The statistics I'm going to be sharing will be covering Q2 statistics for this year versus Q2 of last year. All right, let's see what some of those numbers are. So for Buncombe County, the median sale price is up by 6.3% year over year to $513,000. The average sale price is up 10.8% to over $653,000. Those numbers are both higher than any numbers in any other county that I've seen in the region, which does naturally make sense as Asheville is the main city center of this area. For Haywood County, the median sale price is up 7.7% to almost $383,000, and the average sale price is up 2.6% to over $435,000. Haywood County does cover a lot of very rural areas, so while it does include Canton and Waynesville and Maggie Valley, Cherokee, those areas, there are certainly some very rural spots in Haywood County that are going to bring that average and median price a lot lower than you might otherwise see in those more populated little mountain towns. For Henderson County, the median sale price is up 6.1% to over $461,000. The average sale price is up 9.5% to over $541,000. Out of the 4 counties that I'm covering today, Henderson County is going to have the second highest home prices. So Henderson County naturally includes Hendersonville, which is a very popular and populated area, but Henderson County also includes some more rural spots as well, but not to the extent of, say, Haywood County or Madison County. Moving on now, lastly to Madison County, the median sale price is up 11.1% to almost $422,000, and the average sale price is up 13.2% to $496,000. So again, Madison County is going to be more rural, similar to Haywood County, but you do have some more populated spots like Mars Hill and Marshall. So a lot of these statistics are pretty much what I would expect. Asheville area, closer you are to Asheville, more expensive the homes are going to be, and the further out and more rural you get, naturally the lower home prices will be. So I hope that you guys find that useful. If you would like me, going forward to share statistics for these different counties, then of course let me know, leave me a comment down below. All right, let's move on now to inventory on a national level. Active listings have reached their highest point since 2020. However, they are still below pre-pandemic levels. In other words, supply remains tight based on historical numbers. New listings are up by 10% compared to 2023, but they're still lower than they were in 2021 and 2022. A large reason why inventory is increasing is not because we're seeing a big flood of homes hit the market. Instead, it's actually because homes tend to be sitting on the market a little bit longer. I'll dive into this a little bit later in the video, but this does not necessarily mean that all of a sudden we have flipped into a buyer's market. That's really not what has happened. We went from an extraordinarily strong seller's market, stronger than we have ever seen, to what is really more of a typical seller's market. It's really not normal for homes to sell in a weekend or even a week. Homes sitting on the market a bit longer, maybe say a month, even possibly 2 months, is still considered a seller's market. But like I said, I'll dive into that a little bit further. Let's get through a couple more statistics. According to Redfin, 2/3 of the homes that were listed for sale in June were listed for over 30 days. Part of the reason for this is because some sellers are overpricing their homes. Some homeowners feel like they really missed the boat in 2021 and 2022, and they feel like the momentum is as high as it was back then. In other words, that prices are appreciating at that same very fast rate, which isn't really true. As we saw in the chart earlier, price appreciation is continuing, however, not at that very fast pace that we saw before. Overpricing your home in hopes that there is one person out there that will be a sucker and ultimately overpay for your property is really going to hurt you in the long run. The first, arguably 2 days, but certainly no more than 2 weeks on the market, are really the most important time for your listing. Most potential buyers are going to look at your home within that time frame. If they see that your property has been sitting on the market for a month, 2 months, 3 months, even more, and maybe they see that you keep having multiple price decreases, then they might say, well, there's maybe something wrong with this property. I'm not really sure why it's been sitting for so long, but I think I'd rather go towards this other property that seems to be really desirable. It really has a lot to do with the stigma around the property too. So if your property has been under agreement and come back on the market, under agreement again, come back on the market, a lot of times buyers will say, there's got to be something wrong with that property. I don't think I even really want to mess with it. I don't know what the problem is, but I'll just leave that to someone else. So long story short, overpricing your property does ultimately hurt you in the long run, and will get you less money than you could have had you priced it appropriately. We see it time and time again. Properties that are priced appropriately, move-in ready, really don't need many repairs or any desirable area, and overall just well-maintained, tend to sell quite quickly and often sell for around asking, if not higher. As of May, there was 3.7 months of inventory. This is still well below that 5-month threshold that I've shared with you before. So if the months of inventory is below 5%, we are in a seller's market. If it's between 5 and 6, we are in a neutral market. And if it is over 6, that is when we are in a buyer's market. I have heard some people say, oh, now we're in a buyer's market, no longer a seller's market. I've even heard other realtors say that, and it really does surprise me how many people aren't truly aware of the actual market that we're in. I think that because it was such a strong seller's market over the past couple years, it's kind of shifted people's mentality. And a lot of people have just forgotten how normal real estate markets are. So in reality, like I mentioned, we are still in a seller's market on a national level and also on a local level, which I'll dive into in a little bit. Before I dive into the local statistics, I briefly want to touch on foreclosure rates. This is something I've heard come up in conversation a little bit more recently. People are kind of wondering, with higher interest rates, are we going to start to see more foreclosures? But in reality, they really have not been increasing. Foreclosure rates are still at a national low, and there are a few states who have reported absolutely no foreclosures. Let's move on now to inventory on a local level. A minute ago, I mentioned that month's supply of inventory on a national level is 3.7. A little bit earlier in the video, when I was talking about home prices, I broke them down for 4 different counties, and I figured I might as well continue that through to this section as well. So for Buncombe County, month's supply of inventory is 2.9. For Haywood County, it is 3.8. For Henderson County, it is 3.2. And for Madison County, it is 3.8. So overall in this area, we are pretty much in line with the national numbers. However, in some areas like Henderson as well as Buncombe County, the more populated areas, we are lower in terms of month supply of inventory than the national numbers. So meaning overall, we are in a stronger seller's market here in the more populated areas than on average nationally. I also thought it would be good to mention the percentage of list price that sellers are actually receiving, because I know many people have said, I see a lot of price decreases, clearly home prices have to be going down, but the statistics just aren't showing that. So again, this goes back to the same point of sellers just generally being overall a little bit more greedy and trying to get those higher numbers. It does not necessarily mean that just because their home ultimately ends up selling for less than they listed it for, that home prices are declining. Those are two different statistics. You have, percentage of listing price that was ultimately received versus overall home prices increasing. Those are two separate statistics. So a home can still sell for less than asking price and at the same time be an overall increase in price, if that makes any sense. So overall in the Asheville region, which is comprised of 13 counties, sellers are getting 95.8% of their list price when they sell. Homes are typically selling for at or over asking if they are well priced and in a desirable neighborhood, move-in ready, etc. And naturally they will sell for less than asking if they were overpriced to begin with, maybe not as well taken care of, or maybe a kind of fixer-upper type of property. So overall, homes are selling for a little bit less on average. However, I think it's very important to consider the area that you're looking at whenever you are placing an offer on a property. Of course, talk to your realtor and get their input too. Looking at comps is super important and kind of seeing what other homes are selling for in that area. There are a lot of different factors to consider when placing an offer. So don't just take this number, for example, and say, well, home prices are selling for 95.8% of asking price, so that's the amount that I'm going to offer off of their list price. That's not really a tactical way of going about it. So again, talk to your realtor and ultimately see what their advice is, look at the comps, etc. Okay, let's move on now to some mortgage news. Mortgage rates are continuing to ease a little bit and are currently around 6.82% on average for a 30-year fixed rate conventional loan. This is the lowest rate we have seen this year since February. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have adjusted their predictions again. I know I've shared a very similar chart to this one with you guys in the past, and ultimately this one looks pretty similar to those that I've shown you before. But they are predicting that rates will be roughly in the mid-6s, maybe a little bit higher by the end of this year, and in the low 6s by the end of next year. I've said it in many videos in the past, but if we start to see rates drop by a significant amount, probably somewhere in the 5s at some point in the future, at that point it's likely that we're going to see a lot more people come off the sidelines, start looking at homes, and we'll probably see price appreciation start to pick up again. Okay, let's end out this video with a little bit of local news. Asheville City Council unanimously approved the conditional zoning request for Action Hill. This is a 349 unit complex right off Smoky Park Highway in Candler and will include residential, mixed use, and commercial space. Well, that is everything for today's video, guys. I don't actually have anything for that other news category, but I think I've talked on long enough for you guys. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to leave a comment down below or call me, text me, email me anytime. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. If you're curious about some of those local statistics for another county that I maybe didn't mention, whether it's Rutherford County, McDowell County, any other county that you are curious about, I'm happy to share those statistics with you. As I said earlier, if you do not already have a copy of my free homebuyer guide, I'm happy to share that with you as well. And if you would like a free comparative market analysis done for you on your property, I'm also more than happy to do that for you. If you or anyone you know are considering buying or selling property around Asheville, I'm more than happy to help you, so reach out to me anytime. I always love to talk to you guys and just connect with the community overall. I do have some more fun videos planned for this year. I know that I really haven't been getting out videos every week, which has been my goal, but I am still planning on filming a second free things video. I wanted to film kind of a summer themed one, so before summer's over, I'm gonna get that out for you guys. It's just been really busy around here. Personally, work has just really ramped up over the past, I'd say, month or two. I feel like, you know, even though rates have dropped just a tiny bit, people are really starting to want to move and want to buy again, and summer typically is busy time for real estate anyways. So, well, that is everything for today. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, hit the like button, share this video with your family and friends, and I will see you very soon in the next one.